You have to probably keep it running. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I've got something special for you today, something I think you're really gonna like. I know here lately we've been doing a lot of TPS base idle type stuff, but everything just kind of comes in droves. That's just the way it goes. And right now, that's what's hot. So we're gonna work on his car, see if the old TPS base idle reset can't fix his car. And if not, then we'll try to figure out what it is. All right, go ahead and give you guys a quick backstory on the car. What's going on with it right now is it's very high idle, but whenever he puts the car in gear and goes to take off or turns the air conditioner on, it wants to choke off. So I think it needs a base idle reset, a timing set, and all that. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get to the video. So this is Cliff. He just got the car, what, about a week ago?
About a week.
Like that. So can you tell us anything about the car? You know, what was told to you that's been done to it?
I was told that it was a 302. It is stroked to a 347. It has a mild cam. It's got exhaust. The heads are ported and polished. There's a lot of new parts on the car. It has a TKO transmission. Internally, I really don't know.
Okay. So you were told it was a stroker.
That's correct.
But it's got stock heads. They've just been ported and polished. It's got GT40 heads.
Both supposedly.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, I am just looking at the car for the first time. So what we'll do is we'll go around the car. First off, let's talk about the issue with it. So what is it doing exactly?
It will not idle with the air conditioner on. It will idle fine with the air conditioner off.
Okay.
You turn the air conditioner on, it will not idle.
All right, guys. So we need to do a base idle reset. That's what that tells me. This car needs to recognize load under all circumstances. Let's look over the car, make sure nothing looks crazy, and then we'll go ahead and check the timing on it. I can already see that it looks like the timing is really low on the car, or either it's a tooth off. So one of the first things that I noticed is right here. It has a clamp on it to adjust airflow. So we'll probably do away with that. But for right now, we just need to figure out if there's anything else that sticks out to us while we're looking at the car. The car seems really clean, though, to be honest with you. It's a really clean setup on the car. Adjustable fuel pressure regulator back here. I mean, somebody did a really good job on this thing. Cliff, if you don't mind, go ahead, start it up. Overall, sounds pretty good. It's got a little bit of an up and down, but that's going to happen. So it's idling a little above 1,000 RPM, so we already know we got some stuff we need to do. Sounds really good, though. This thing sounds nice. All right, let's get under here, look around a little bit, and see what we can find. Now, the reason why I'm doing it this way is I want to show you guys my train of thought whenever it comes to something like this. I'm going to show you the ins and outs, kind of what goes through my head. So one of the first things that I'm going to want to do is come up here and unplug the idle air control to see how the car reacts to that. And it doesn't at all. So what that tells me is the idle screw is set too high on this car and the idle air control isn't doing anything. So that's issue number one. Fuel pressure's down about 31 pounds. So we'll probably get that bumped up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it off. So we're gonna switch the car off and actually hold up, I'm sorry. Hold up, guys. We need to do one thing first. We might as well go ahead and take care of this right off the bat. So what we're gonna do, since we know the car is idled up too high, is unplug the idle air control right here. And we're gonna come in and see if we can lower this idle down with the screw. We want to get this thing to idle about as low as it can. At about what?
1100.
About 1100. Okay. Okay, that's fine. All right. Okay, so the car is not wanting to idle once we get it down anywhere below about 900 RPM. So what I'm going to do now is check the TPS, make sure that it's good. So remember, guys, now that we have changed the idle, that's going to ultimately change your TPS setting. So let me go in, check the TPS, verify that it's good. We're going to set the timing on the car, then we'll start our base idle reset procedure. We're over a volt, so we really need to lower this. All right, 0.95, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. And it will change once the car is idling, but that's pretty good for now. So what we're going to do is go ahead and set the timing on the car and start our whole base idle reset procedure. Somebody spent some time doing this stuff right now. I like this. I like the way they did a lot of this stuff.
When I saw the car, it was clean.
Oh yeah, it's clean now, and it's not been patched up. It's just a clean car. I mean, you can tell. Okay, got everything hooked up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bust it off. This car has an aftermarket harmonic balancer on it too. All right, guys, the timing is set on the car to about 12 degrees. So we're gonna try that. Now back to this. We need to get this car to idle without the idle air control. Now it's not wanting to do that at the moment, so we're gonna have to fiddle around with it a little bit. So I tell you what, I'm gonna mess around with the idle screw, get this thing where it'll idle like it needs to at the lowest possible idle, and then what we'll do is come in, plug in the idle air control, and let this thing reset. So I'll pick back up with you guys once we get this thing to idle right.
700?
Okay, so about 700 or so?
Yeah, it's gonna be about 700 to 800.
Okay. All right, so we got the car about 700 or so. I think that's gonna be about as low as this thing's gonna wanna go. So this is where we're going to switch the car off. We're gonna, go ahead and do that. We're gonna switch the car off. We're gonna disconnect the battery cable. Now this will reset the computer. So we're gonna take the negative cable off, and we're gonna let the car sit for about 15 minutes or so. All right, so we're gonna let the car sit for about 15 minutes, guys, reset the computer. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come out here and reattach the idle air control. Now, I'm gonna just put this in layman's terms for you. Essentially what this does is work as like a reboot for the computer. Think of it that way. So when you disconnect the idle air control and run the car at this point knows that when you plug this sensor back in, that it's in reboot mode. Okay, so when you run the car without it and then you switch the car off and then plug it back in and start the car starts a whole reset system. So that's what we're trying to do right now, is do a reset on the car, which aka is called a base idle reset. So let's let the computer clear anything that's got going on here. We'll come back, plug this thing in, and see if we can't get this thing running right. All right, guys, the car's been sitting for a few minutes now. We're gonna go ahead, reconnect the battery cable here. This thing's got some power pulling from somewhere. And we're gonna start the car up without the idle air control just to verify.
You may kill the light.
Yeah, that's what it was. We had the headlights on. You have to probably keep it running. We'll plug everything back in. All right, go ahead. All right, so if the idle air control is doing its job, this car should straighten itself out. You should hear a change in the engine in about another 30 seconds or so. All right, guys, we're gonna break in right here. As you all know, we've been trying to do a base idle reset on the car, and the idle air control just didn't seem to be doing anything. So we thought that we had a loose connection, so we come in and cut out what we thought was a bad spot. And anyway, we have continuity now all the way from here to we know coming out of the salt and pepper shakers. So let me explain to you real quick, like before we move on, what the problem is. When you turn the AC on and give the car any throttle, when you go to release the throttle, it dies. The idle air control is not catching the car, so it's not keeping it running. So we started tracing everything back, and I think we found the problem. I don't know for sure. So let me show you guys this. That is the blue and white wire that goes into the computer here. Watch this. Yeah, it wasn't even plugged all the way in. So right there, the blue and white wire is basically loose. And we have another wire right here also, is the black and gray wire that we have to figure out where it goes. So I'm gonna look up the breakdown of it, the schematics real quick, figure out where the black and gray wire goes, plug it back in, and make sure all of these pins have been plugged in like they need to be. And I think that's going to get the idle air control back working. We'll see though. So that's what we're doing. Like I said, we're just plugging the wires back up, putting them back in the correct spot, and I'll get back with you guys as soon as we find out. All right, guys. As you can see, the car is running pretty good, but still not running the way we need it to. The conclusion we have come to is there is also another wire in there on that 60-pin connector that is not plugged in. He's got to go to a birthday party. I got to go inside. This was supposed to be like a quick little thing where we looked the car over, but we have found some issues, and that's a good thing, because there's a box full of parts over here, guys. Let me show you. Literally a box full of parts where they've tried to replace stuff and make this thing work. So this idle issue has been going on for a long time, and I'm almost 100% certain the problem was that wire is not connected. So we thought we got it connected back, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's sitting on the pin on the computer. We don't have time to really mess with it right now, but we're going to get back to it, and I do think that's going to fix the problem. So all right, guys, we'll catch you in the next video, and maybe next time we'll take the car down the road, we'll drive it, see how she runs. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up, and as always, thanks for watching.